Welcome back. An interesting court hearing we went to today. 3 men go in front of an eligibility parole board, but for each of them, parole was denied. So why are we talking about it? Well, among the cases were 2 that were really high profile in their time. The first was Brian Flowers. He was 16 years old when he was an accomplice in a double murder where a 35-year-old mom and her 10-year-old son were killed. The second person who was up for parole was Jason McLaughlin. He is the young man who shot and killed 2 people at Rocori High School more than 20 years ago. Gordon was there for both of these hearings today. Gordon, these were kind of new in that this was part of a new hearing process to give people who were convicted as juveniles for life sentences an early chance at getting out.
Yeah, for many years, the Corrections Commissioner made all the decisions when it comes to granting parole. But in 2023, the state legislature passed a law to create a board to make those decisions. That year, the legislature also passed a law that says the board must review juvenile cases to see if the offenders, who are now adults, are ready to be released from prison.
Good afternoon, Mr. McLaughlin. How are you today?
I'm all right.
21 years after shooting and killing 2 fellow students at Rocori High School, Jason McLaughlin is now eligible for parole.
I'm not the same person I was 21 years ago.
McLaughlin was 15 years old when he says he walked into the high school with a gun, with plans to kill a student who had been teasing him. He was sentenced to life in prison and, due to a recent law change, is now eligible to be released from prison if the board decides he's ready to rejoin society.
It bothers me to see how many people I've affected that I didn't even know. Kind of haunts me to this day. Like, I have a hard time sleeping, thinking about what they went through.
McLaughlin was one of 3 inmates who were up for parole Friday. The Supervised Release Board, led by Corrections Commissioner Paul Schnell, has been reviewing cases like these since July of last year. For juvenile offenders, they can qualify for parole after serving a certain number of years.
Do you believe that you could one day be released back into the community and not be a risk to public safety?
I absolutely believe that 100%.
Board members spoke with McLaughlin for over an hour, and like every other case, members considered countless factors: his behavior in prison, the seriousness of his crime, and his ability to adjust to life outside of prison.
What would be your long-term kind of goal?
I would like to go to culinary school, graduate from there, work at an Asian kitchen somewhere, and then eventually open up my own Asian restaurant.
After a lengthy discussion, board members denied McLaughlin's request for parole, though they did agree to move him to a lower security prison where he can have more access to programs. He'll get another chance at parole in 5 years.
Mr. McLaughlin, we'll end, and we thank you and wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you.
And Jana, watching these parole hearings today, I have to say, it wasn't like it is in the movies. I got the sense that none of these 3 inmates truly expected to receive parole today. But in all 3 of these cases, the inmates were sent down to a lower security prison. And all of them seemed to be happy about that because they would have access to more programs.
So we just heard about Mr. McLaughlin, and it would be 5 years. What about in the Flowers case? Is that person going to get another chance to make their case in 5 years, 1 year?
Yeah, the board actually decided, they put a lot of requirements for him, but they said he could be eligible for parole as early as next year. But Commissioner Schnell said that it could be closer to possibly 3 years. It really depends on how closely he adheres to some of those requirements that they spelled out.
All right, interesting. Thank you so much, Gordon. Be right back.